We are live.
Yay!
Allegedly, maybe.
Supposed
And we
to
have
be.
2 people watching.
And there
Hi.
is sound showing.
Yes, there is sound
Yes.
showing
We have
this
sound.
week,
Good.
which is a miracle after last week.
Well, with it being number 34, we're hoping that there's going to be no dramas this
Touch
week.
wood.
I can touch wood, but it's YouTube. Yeah, that's about right. I'm doing the typing
Yes.
for Joanne because she's in the middle, and it's easier for me to lean over. So, how is everyone today? Hopefully, as good as we are,
Yeah.
because we're feeling all right.
Sort of not been blown away yet with the wind
Not-
today.
I know
Not
the
yet.
storm's
It's
a
coming.
bit.
David Robertson, he said, yeah. And Giraffe says hiya. Hello to
Hi,
both
guys.
of you. David, I believe you put a suggestion in
Yes, you gave us a nice question.
about electrode positions and
And lube.
lubrication.
Yeah, positions we can't really show you on YouTube.
Yeah, Roy Atson.
Hi,
Hi,
Roy.
Roy.
Roy, no spikes this week, thank you. Yeah, YouTube,
I'm working on it.
YouTube are quite serious about what you can and can't
Yeah.
show on these sort
Yeah.
of things. Can anyone see us? Because apparently we've got a YouTube widget error.
Oh dear.
It seems to be streaming because
Lagging now and again.
we're not buffering, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, YouTube can be a bit of a pain.
As
So-
you know, we tend to have a few technical issues.
Yeah, we're not so good at the live stream stuff. Yeah, David says we're lagging now and again.
Right, okay.
We are on Starlink. The problem with Starlink is every so often it changes satellites and we get a laggy period. So
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be quite
Pass.
brief,
In a second.
and we'll
Fingers
get
crossed.
we'll get through that. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we can't show. We can't use dildos to show electrode
You
positions.
can't even use bananas.
We can't even use banana,
No.
even though he's there. It's just one of the things we've got to put up with. Yeah, we are lagging
Oh dear.
because we
Drastically.
are buffering.
Yeah,
So
I know, I was looking
Bear
at the
with us.
buffering.
I'm going to run outside and move the dish.
Okay,
This is
so
going to be fun. You're probably going to lose the connection.
hopefully you don't lose the connection,
No.
but if you do, please hang on. We will be right back.
Yes.
Oh, glad you got the message, David. I'm just waiting to see what happens. Really.
Let's just hope it improves.
Oh,
It's moved
we're
yet.
not buffering more. Oh, she says, and then it's buffering more. So we shall see.
We're having a bad day.
We are having a bad day.
Yeah,
It's middle
it
of the
started
being in the middle of
buffering.
nowhere.
The buffering's going down, so hopefully it's
Oh, yeah.
catching up.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah,
Fingers crossed.
what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the new stuff we've got.
Yeah, and talk about some lube to,
Some
answer,
Slippery
lube.
to answer your question.
The
One of them,
slippery,
anyway.
slippery subject.
Yes. Very slippery, slimy subject.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is good.
But
So,
it's very
slimy with
important.
fun.
so what do you want to talk about first then?
Okay, let's talk about our new electrode.
Delete.
We talk about those?
Yeah, let's talk about these.
Right, let's go for close up cam.
Now, because of my issues with my hands and wrists, Stunt Cock has been doing these for me.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, we're looking at ways of using stainless steel metal fixings, and the problem we've got is attaching a cable to it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's quite simple to do that, but we need something that's reliable, repeatable, and dare I say it, professional. It would be a first for us.
Basically, we're
Yeah.
looking at
So
Yeah.
what we've done is we've come up with a way of using a silicone mould within a 3D printed former to basically inject plastic around the fittings that we're going to use to attach to a stainless steel
and
ball.
that's this bit.
And what that does, it seals it. It acts as a bit of strain relief for the solder connection, and it means that we can design electrodes where you can pop the electrode surfaces out to clean them and clean inside the hole, because you're going to get gunk in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then reassemble it. This is where we're at. We're quite happy with the results so far. It looks a bit bubbly because we didn't use a pressure vessel to set the plastic, so the bubbles in there, as everything heated up, the bubbles expand and you got some bubbles. But we are progressing quite nicely
I was
with
going to
that.
say, yeah,
You know,
we're
we're
getting
happy
there.
with the results. We've got to work on how we're going to do the external side, whether we use a pourable plastic or build an injection moulder machine to actually do the sockets on the end of the wires.
Yeah.
But we're keen to have sockets on wires rather than something built into the electrode, because we want people to be able to strip it down for cleaning.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in using body soap materials if
If you can't
you
clean
can't clean it effectively. You've wasted your time. So that's where we're at with that. Do you want to go on to your cord locks?
Don't we?
Yes. So our new black cord locks
The ones
arrived.
They're the yellow ones.
So these are our yellow ones.
The yellow schmallow ones.
Our original ones.
Yep.
And here's some I prepared earlier.
Thank you very much. And here's the black ones.
Yep. You'll just lay them down because you can't see them from top, can you? It's like a bit of circle.
I know, I just wanted to show that they're completely black.
These are really cool. We get these made in London at a company that does industrial 3D printing. And they're solid nylon, so they are going to last a long time. The beauty of these is they've got holes for both 6mm and 4mm. Now I know you can put 4mm in a 6mm toggle, but what you do is the spring expands and you get less of a grip.
Yeah.
With this, you have the same grip on a 4mm piece of conductive rubber as you do on a 6mm. So they are really, really good.
And don't forget, you can also put in 6mm and 4mm at the same time.
Yeah.
They will touch inside.
They touch inside, so you can create your own.
Which is quite
loop,
cool.
Which is,
Yeah, we like that.
But,
so they're available in black or yellow and black.
Yeah.
The black ones aren't on the site yet. They're going up this weekend. But you know, if you're not a fan of yellow and black, unlike us, it gives you options.
Yeah.
And black goes with everything.
The other
yeah.
beauty of the black means that we've been able to bring in the new colours.
Yep. So black curves,
And purple.
purple curves,
And red.
And
red
as well
curves.
as our...
So these three will all have black toggles, black toggles,
Yep.
because they look much nicer
Yeah.
Than
and much
yellow,
smarter
yeah.
than the yellow. And the yellow will still have the yellow toggles on it
Yep. Because they look quite cool.
because it matches beautifully.
Yeah.
If you want the black but with yellow toggles, just let us know.
Yeah, we can do that for you.
It's like everything we do, we can customise quite easily. Just, you know, either before you place an order or straight after an order, because we try and get things out as quick as possible. Let us know if you want a different colour.
Yeah.
And we can sort that out for you.
Of course, the beauty with the curve is if you're curved, it fits you really well.
That's the
Yes.
beauty. Put on the side.
Yeah, let me create some space.
Yeah, you're a bit.
I'm a bit cramped here.
You are. She's sandwiched in the middle.
Bit cramped. But yeah, so...
So the whole idea of the curve is the silicone holder allows you to flex as you're using it. Do you want to just tighten them up so you can see?
Yes.
And that's the other thing with these new nylon cord locks, is they're a nice, good fit because we designed them. They're not an off-the-shelf thing for clothing or paracord. They have been designed for conductive rubber, which is good. So there you go. So it's flexible. So as you grow and shrink, it can move with you. Easy to take apart. You can move the electrodes closer or wider apart just by popping them out of the silicone holder. It's quite a nice solution. I like it.
Yeah, let me take Banani out, then I can show how easy it is.
God, you're struggling with that. Why don't you just grab one of the other ones?
Let's see. Okay, fine. Sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't do sensible.
No,
I don't do sensible. But yeah, so sort of nice and easy. It literally just pops out. Pop it out.
And move.
Yeah.
Obviously that one you can't move
No.
because of the size of the hole. But these can be moved around. So pop them out that way. Pop one out. And pop it back in on the
In a
lower
different
one.
slot.
So nice and easy. Just slide it in.
Royat said purple looks nice.
I do like the purple.
Yeah, that's her favourite colour.
Yeah.
Purple. I'm quite partial to red,
Yeah.
which I'd have normally said the yellow is my favourite because I do like the yellow and black combo. But red and black looks quite nice.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
So those are going to be available at the end of this weekend. They'll be on the site in 3 colours.
Yeah.
Pick and choose. They've been really popular so far, and we're getting better at making silicone products.
We are.
Because we're getting practice now, and it's like all skills, you know. It takes time. All good fun.
Yeah.
So that's that. What we're going to talk about now?
Okay, now I think we need to talk about lube.
Ooh, lube.
Like lube.
Okay, so there's different types of lube,
Yep. Lots of different brands and types.
but we sell 2 types.
Yep.
So we've got the Parker Spectrogel,
And then we also sell smaller.
and then we do the e-stim systems
Yep.
electrogel as well.
My preference is the e-stim systems electrogel.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people argue the toss like Spectra.
yeah.
It's horses. They both do the job. About the e-stim systems, it is rated for internal use.
Yeah.
They specifically state that on their website.
Yeah.
So you've got no problems where you put it. There's a bit of argy-bargy
With
about
the
the Parker stuff.
Yeah.
Some people say the safety data sheet says shouldn't it. Others say you shouldn't drink it.
So it's, but lots of people use it internally
Internal
without
with
any
no
problems.
at all.
Yeah.
So it's up to
your
you.
mileage may
I think
vary.
it's personal.
Yeah.
But I mean, we like the e-stim system stuff,
Yeah.
Especially the pump.
especially the pump. Why the pump?
It's easier to use.
Yeah, you can do it one-handed.
Yeah.
Dead
Yeah.
girl.
So much easier to use,
Yeah.
especially as you said, one-handed.
And it works out better price because of the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if you want a little tubes are good.
Yeah. They're handy for travelling and
I think
go to
now
pubs
would be a
and stuff.
good idea to explain why people should be using electrogel.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Should we go for a
Let's go
fancy fancy picture?
Let's go for the picture you did for me earlier.
Can I get this right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay!
he's done it!
He's done it.
He's done it. We made a graphic.
Look at us
Can
getting all
I get
professional.
really posh? No, I can't get really posh.
You were trying to do a camera and camera.
Yeah, I
with
was
the two,
trying to do the
weren't
two, but
He's
I've
still
completely
learning.
Yeah.
No,
fucked
he's
that
still.
up. We'll get that right one
you?
day.
I was going to say, now you've lost the graphic.
Oh well, it works so well in practice, and then he got and blew it. Right, what you got there is a little icon of some conductive rubber sat on some skin. The skin is the skinny coloured bit at the bottom, and the black donut is the conductive rubber.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be conductive rubber, it could represent a
Metal.
metal electrode. We just chose to do conductive rubber because we make
That's
a lot
what
of
we-
conductive.
We use
Yeah.
a lot
Use
of
a lot of-
conductive rubber.
Yeah.
The little red area you see there, that is the contact area with your skin. Obviously, your conductive rubber needs to be nice and tight, or at least snug, and that will draw it down onto the skin and apply a bit of pressure, and you'll end up with a small area where all the electrical energy is being passed through. If you've not got good contact, you can get some hot spots. Yeah. Worst case scenario, you can actually get some little burns where you're getting all the energy put through a very small area, and that's more likely to happen if you use an old CR because it breaks down over time and the resistance goes up. So that is basically your start condition. That's dry conductive rubber or a dry metal electrode.
Yeah.
So you get in that little contact area, and that's where all the energy is going through. What happens if you put some lube on? Bang! Get that!
Yeah.
It's
It
good.
expands
It-
the contact area,
It expands the
which
contact
means
area.
you get a smoother feel.
Yeah.
As well as protecting the skin as well.
It's like
Yeah.
anything e-stim, the smaller the contact area, the sharper the
Yeah.
sensations. So if you can increase that contact area, you're better.
Yeah.
Has other effects, doesn't it?
It does.
It
It
does.
does.
So
Yes.
I'm looking at the full on
Yeah.
buffering. Are we still online?
No, we're not got a good connection today.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so-
a bit of
we
being
are still
out
online.
in the
Okay.
Peak District.
It also has the effect of cooling your skin.
Yeah.
You're putting energy in. Energy is going to generate a bit of warmth and heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having some conductive lube there cools the skin as well. It moisturises the skin, but the main benefit is you're getting more skin contact,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is imperative if you want a nice, good, smooth ride. The larger the rubber, the smoother the ride. So
Yeah.
4mm is going to be sharper than 8mm, and 6mm is a happy medium, which is why most of our stuff tends to be 6mm. You should be using electrogel with any electrode, especially external stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
definitely external stuff.
Do you want to talk about the whiskers?
Okay, so when we say external stuff, so skin play, you need to use gel with.
Yep.
Things like the e-stim Systems whiskers.
Yeah,
Feels amazing, does it not?
it does.
Yeah. But you need to use electrogel
Yeah.
to actually feel it properly. And it's a great skin play.
Toy.
It's a nice
Implement.
toy, that one.
Electrode.
Yeah.
It's monopole, so you need to use that in conjunction with something else, so a pad or an insertable. But you can do some really nice sensations on the skin with that.
Yeah.
Tapping it, drawing it across the skin.
Like I say.
And again, using some electrogel helps to spread out the contact and gives you a nice smoother ride and gives you a better experience all round.
Yeah.
So one of the questions we get asked quite a lot is how much lube should I use?
There is such a thing as too much lube.
There is.
There is. There's also such a thing as too little.
Yeah.
So you need to find that happy
yeah.
medium.
Too little, you're not getting a big contact area, you're not getting the cooling effect. Too much, it's wasteful, you're going to end up buying more and it's costing more. But if you've got two electrodes close together,
Yeah.
what you don't want to do is short the two with lube.
So, I mean,
if
these aren't close enough, but
Yeah.
if they were like
you had two loops next to
really,
each other,
really close.
don't smother them
Yeah.
in lube because your current's going to wick away rather than going through your skin. I always err on the side of more than less because I don't want the sharp, tingly, prickly effect. I'd rather put a little bit more on
Yeah.
and take the hit financially because it's not expensive. It goes a long way, put it that way.
A little goes
Yeah.
a long way,
Yeah.
definitely.
With a lube, I tend to put them in place, then put the lube on.
Mm-hmm.
Some people lube the rings up, then put them in place.
It's personal preference.
Yeah.
It's all it's
Complete.
how you prefer to do it
Yeah.
as opposed to how I prefer to do it, and everybody is different. So yeah, you should use a good electrogel. Those are just two examples, Parker and e-stim
There's
Systems.
loads of others out there. It's just
Most e-stim brands make their own.
Yeah.
At a push, you can make your own using some water-based lube and adding something that's going to add salts to it to make it more conductive.
Yeah.
Although I don't recommend doing that because generally adding things to a lube that's been produced is going to alter the chemical balance
Yeah.
in it. And some lubes, I've seen people put salts in or bicarbonate soda and it
cause
just
issues.
turns to water, because
Yeah.
it breaks down the bonds within the lube. If you're going to use electrogel, get some proper electrogel.
Yeah, it's not expensive stuff.
No.
Compared to the rest of the stuff that you buy, it's not expensive.
Yeah.
So it's a lot safer if you buy something that's already made for that purpose.
Yeah.
One thing you don't use electrogel with is pads.
Absolutely.
And that's because the gel will actually stop them from sticking.
Which defeats the object.
Yeah.
doesn't
You
it?
you kind of want them to stick, don't
Yeah.
you? Really?
I mean, they do come with their own gel on them, and that is designed to act as an electrogel, but with a little bit of stickiness to go with it.
Yeah.
So you don't need it if you're using conductive pads.
Yeah.
And internally, you can get away with water-based lube,
Yeah.
Yep.
or you can use electrogel.
We tend to use electrogel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you push and you run out,
If
and
it's
there's
an
some water-based
emergency
lube, yeah.
and you've got some water-based lube there, then
Yeah, don't use oil-based lubes
No,
because
no,
they're
no.
insulators. Don't use silicon-based lubes if you're
Because it's
using conductive
the
rubber
same issue.
because you'll kill it.
Yeah.
It will bond to the conductive rubber and insulate it, and that's not good for an electrode. So internally, you can get away with water-based lube, but again, you're going to get a better effect if you're using the proper stuff, which is why we recommend using it. Not because we sell it, we use it ourselves.
Yeah.
Lessons have been learnt. Yeah, don't use dry electrodes.
Yeah.
It's just
No.
not good. David Robert has said, put it on the skin or on the electrode. It's up to you. I tend to put the electrode on and then wet the electrode, damp it, and get the electrode under the edges of it. If you know where your electrode's going to sit, put it on beforehand. Experiment. Try
Yeah.
it.
See what's
Yeah.
best for you.
Everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
And it depends on the electrode you're using as well. As to whether it's easier to put the electrode on before you fit it or
Yeah.
afterwards. If it's something down on your taint, then it's probably easy to lube it up before you fit it because getting down there's quite fiddly. An internal electrode, obviously, you need to
Before.
lube that up before you
Yeah.
put it in.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it in after the effect.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you go and grab us a lube shooter
I
from down
can.
the bottom. The other thing, if you're using internal electrodes, you've got two choices. You can either lube up the electrode and insert it. Three choices. Lube the electrode and insert it. Lube the orifice, then insert the electrode. Or get the electrode where you want it to actually go. Oh my god, you have to pick the smallest one. So I think we're going for a demonstration of how much lube to put on.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Oh.
Sort of, so again, that is personal preference.
That is personal preference.
And it depends on whether you're using it vaginally or anally.
Yep.
Because obviously vaginally you've already got body fluids, so you might not need as much as you would use anally.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, especially with e-stim systems, whatever you do,
Or any
don't get
electrode.
lube, or any electrode. Do not get lube on the connectors.
Yeah. Because you risk shorting them out.
Yeah, and that's why I picked up the biggest one.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Do you want to
Not tease him over the head or anything.
Close up. Right. One option for internal electrodes is the third one I mentioned earlier, was getting the electrode where the electrode, getting the lube where the electrode goes.
That's my job.
that
to get
is.
sometimes.
I know.
None of you stunt cut.
We use lube shooters.
Yeah.
These are handy because you can actually load them up with lube, put the cap on, and then throw them in your bag and use them later. You know, if you go into a play event or
It gets the lube where you need it, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a syringe.
Yeah.
You fill it with lube, you take the cap off, you insert it, and you put the amount and where exactly you want it. That's a great idea, especially for anal play, simply because no matter how much lube you put on an electrode,
Some
as
of
you
it
push
will
it
come
in,
off.
it's a wiper ring. It's just going to wipe it all off as it goes in. So getting some inside is a really good idea. I was going to get you to show the top coming off and opening it up, but
All right, fine.
just sit there and watch.
Fine.
So yeah, the lube shooter has a silicone cap.
Yeah.
So when you get the lube in there, you can seal it again. But it's basically
A
a
syringe.
syringe. You can either put that into your lube, pull the handle and
And
suck the
suck
lube
it up.
into it,
Or you can take it all the
or
way
take the
off.
handle all the way out and
Pour the lube in, depending on
your preference.
and what you've got.
Yeah,
So if you've got a pump, then it's obviously easier to pump it in
yeah.
through the top.
But it's handy because you can put just the amount you need, put it where exactly you want it.
Yeah, and they don't
so they're quite cool.
They don't come with lube already installed, so it's your preference of lube.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about washing out lube that you don't like.
David Roberts has said also keeps cables clean after applying gel, otherwise you'll get a short. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Anywhere where you've got exposed electrical connectors,
Yeah, you need to be
electrogel's
careful.
conductive and it's going to short. It's the same as putting your connectors together. So think about how you're going to wire up, where you're going to wire up, and what you're going to lube up.
And where your hands are going to go once you're lubed up.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're going to have
When
lube
you're
on your hands.
doing anything with electrogel or lube, have a towel handy.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing worse than getting lube all over your hands and then going to your control box, picking it up and getting lubes all over your controls.
Yeah.
So have a towel, kitchen roll, anything just to keep your hands clean, and to mop up any spills. One tip: water-based lube dries out.
Obviously.
It's water-based.
Yeah.
If you get one of those little spritz bottles you use for little misting plant leaves and stuff like that, and put some water in, you can spray that on the areas you've got electrogel
And it'll
and
revive
reinvigorate it. Yeah, and that's a good way to revitalise it if it does start drying out.
You were going to say a big word then.
I
weren't
was.
you?
I don't do big words.
You
Roy
were gonna
has
say a big
said,
word.
I've seen lube with gold particles. Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Yeah.
We've not used it. Get away. We've not used it, so we can't comment on it. The only thing I would say is, do you want to be putting something with free floating particles inside you?
And I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
No.
No.
If it's got metal in it, which gold is, it's going to have sharp edges.
Yeah.
I know gold is one of the softer metals, but I just
But internally, your internal
you're
organs
also
are very
Yeah.
soft.
you're running the risk of having a material that's got a set conductivity and then areas inside it with high conductivity. So if you
Yeah.
get a gold particle sandwiched between your skin and your conductive rubber, chances are it's going to get prickly at that spot because all the current's going through that and not the rest of it. So I would stick with just basic electrogel.
Basic or...
If you've had experience with the goldy type stuff and like it or not, let us know in the comments
Yeah,
below.
we'd love to hear.
Because we've got no experience with it. We'd like to hear, and no doubt other people would as well.
Yeah.
David Roberts said I use a syringe. Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. So, and that's just a big
syringe.
glorified
Yeah, syringe.
sexy syringe
Well,
for medical play.
It's just an
Yeah.
easier one because
Yeah.
of the handles on it.
Yeah.
And you can actually get a lot of lube in that.
You can.
Yeah.
Way more than you'd need.
Yeah.
So we tend to put like an inch in
Yeah.
there, and away you go. But yeah, if you're using a syringe, absolutely fine. You know, anything that can get the lube where you need it is a bonus, isn't it?
Definitely.
In our books.
Definitely.
So to summarise, electrogel is just water-based lube with
With
additives
salt.
in it, to make it more conductive.
Yeah.
If you can't get any electrogel and you've got access to water-based lube, try that. You know,
Yeah.
what's the worst that can happen? It's got to be better than having no electrogel.
Well, that's it. Water-based lube is better than nothing.
Yeah. External electrodes, always use electrogel.
Yeah.
Make sure that it is compatible with your electrode type. So don't, as I said, no silicon or hybrid lubes with conductive rubber. Metal, go for it. But anything with conductive rubber, stay away from any form of silicon-based lube. So slap it all over. You can put too much on if your electrodes are close together. If they're not close together, the more you put on, the better it's going to feel.
Yeah.
Up to you don't want to be sat in a puddle of lube, but you get what I mean. So yeah, I mean your mileage may vary. If you've got
Sorry,
a
I'm
particular,
just picturing you with a puddle of lube.
it's not a pretty picture.
No, it is.
If you've got a particular like or dislike for lubes, again,
Let us
know.
know.
throw it in the comments below.
Yeah.
And thank you for the suggestion of talking about this week,
Yeah.
because that helps us out.
It makes our
A
life
lot.
so much easier.
because
Definitely.
this is number 34,
Yeah.
34.
and we're running out of stuff to talk about.
What do you mean running? We
ran
ran
out.
We ran out of stuff
About
to talk
8.
about 7.
Yeah.
How many times ago?
About 8, I think. So hopefully that's been of some use. Hopefully those little pictures helped, because a picture paints 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Go forth and enjoy your stimming sessions.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One thing I will say
Go on.
though, if it's a lube you've never tried before, do a skin patch
Yes.
test first.
If you've got sensitive skin.
Yeah, just to make sure that you're not allergic to any of the contents.
Yeah.
And that goes the same with TENS pads as well.
Yeah.
Some blends of these
New
if they
brand.
use, some people can have a reaction.
Yeah.
So before you start stimming, just throw it on your skin for 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. And
See what happens.
part of skin that if you have a bad reaction, you don't mind going to the doctors about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe your hand or...
Explain that one.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So sort of on your arm or your hand or something where it won't be too much drama if you do have a bad reaction.
Yeah.
It's more for sensitive skin, but it's always good to do when you've not used the lube before.
Absolutely. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah.
And you know, the chat, I mean we're very bad at responding to chat, but we do read it and we do respond when we've read it.
Yeah.
It's my job and I'm crap at it. But it's nice to get some feedback from you guys, because we're here to try and help you, and you interacting with us helps.
Definitely.
So is that us for the week?
I think that's us.
Oh, go for that. I'm going to get a beer now. They won't let me drink beer before a show, because
No.
the IT side will be even worse than it regularly is.
Yeah.
We are hopefully going to be moving later in this year.
Yes, we are.
Well, we're working
into
on it.
Somewhere in town. And that means we'll be able to get broadband.
And hopefully the internet will be a little bit
it should
more...
be a little bit better. But at the moment we're relying on Elon Musk and his Starship fetish.
And the weather bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said,
Some came with e-stim.
some came with e-stim cage, could not feel any difference. Yeah. Most pads or electrodes are made in the same sort of factories in China to the same tolerances and blends. But there are outsiders. There are some premier brands. There are some really, really bad brands. If you find a good supplier, let everyone know.
Yeah.
You know, and stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't always go for the cheapest ones you can find, because chances are you get what you pay for.
Thank you, David.
What?
You said he'll think of something else for us.
As long as it's got any spikes. I don't do spikes. We've avoided
You should
spikes
have
this
said
time. I
that.
know.
He's going to think something of spikes now.
But yeah, thank you, David.
Yeah.
That would help us out, because
Yeah,
this is all
definitely.
about our opportunity to help the community.
Yeah.
And we need to know what you want to talk about,
That's
because
it.
otherwise we'll just talk about me.
We talk about out, don't we? Really?
We talk about out, yeah. Naughty stuff normally, but there you go. So thank you very much for tuning in this week. We are going to be again here at the same time. Hopefully a little bit more of a reliable connection next week.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And then we've got a week off
Yeah.
because I'm taking somebody to Disneyland Paris.
Yep.
With
She's
some
not going.
friends.
Someone's got to stay and hold the fort. And
Yep.
you drew the short straw.
I drew the short straw,
Yeah.
but you guys will have a whale of a time, and I'm hoping you get terrible weather.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
really.
you.
No.
We're going with some
Not
special.
really.
We're going with
Not
some
really.
special friends as well.
So-
So
Normally,
Thank
when
you.
they go to Disney, I get the terrible weather.
do all the usual YouTube like, subscribe, malarkey.
yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you all next week.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.